Hello, welcome to another video by Moxie Marine. In this video I'm installing cam bearings in a LS. This is basically this block is actually an LC9. It's a 2009 5.3 liter block, but it's been bored out to 5.7, so I'm basically building an LS1, aluminum block LS1 equivalent. It's going to have an LS1 camshaft, LS1 size pistons. Basically it's pretty much be an LS1 when I'm done with it. The only difference is it does have the active fuel management towers. You can't see them on this view, but I'll have another video where I show how to resolve that problem. But obviously I'm going to be disabling active fuel management because this is going in a boat. But bottom line is I'm putting in cam bearings. I already have a video about how to install cam bearings, but I've looked at my video and looked at other videos, and some of the other videos don't really cover this. So when you install bearings, there's a hole in the bearing. There's one there, and there's another one. Let's see, where's it at? There's one there. So there's two holes in this bearing, but there's only one hole in the block. So the block is, so this is a little bit different. Small block Chevrolets, like I said, I've already covered this, but small blocks have a groove all the way around, so you can kind of place this bearing any rotation you want to. There's a preferred or a specified way to do it. You put the hole at the, I think, 2 o'clock position on a small block Chevrolet. But some of those bearings will have one hole, some of them have two. But the bottom line is on a Chevrolet, it doesn't really matter because you got the groove. On the LS motor, it's much more critical. So on the LS motor, I'm trying to show it. You can see it right in there. There's really only one place the hole in a bearing can be. It's right there. That's the the hole going down through here. This putting oil to your main bearing is coming off of an oil galley here. Going right, you see it kind of, there's a little lump in the block right through there. That's what's providing oil to your main bearing. But it's also cutting into this cam bearing board just a little bit, and it's also providing oil to your cam bearings. So the bottom line is you have two holes, and you can only line one of them up with that hole. So what do you do about the other hole? Well, I was always under the impression or taught that, so your cam, so this block is upside down, and it's pushing on valves going down that way and that way. So all the load is up here, here, and here. The load on the cam bearing, as the cam is pushing on the valve lifter, is pushing against the cam, pushing that way and that way. So in my estimation, you want a good oil film on that surface or in that area, so you do not want a hole in your bearing where that cam was pushing. So that means the bearing needs not like this, the bearing needs to be like this, so that this surface right through here is basically oriented where on the bottom of the engine. So which pretty much puts this hole here by my finger is the one you want to line up with the hole in the block, and this other one's just there. It's not really doing anything, but it's not down here, it's not up in here where it would take away from your oil film and the surface area for your bearing. So when I put them in like this, with one hole here and one hole over here, there and there. So I'm gonna fix them. It's what I do is I so I've got a bearing upside down, or the engine upside down. I take a black Sharpie and mark a line right here with an arrow pointing to the front of the engine, and I line that black mark at the 6 o'clock position, or 12 o'clock when the engine's upside down. When you talk about clock on the engine, 12 o'clock is always the center of the engine, the top of the engine, not the bottom. So this would be the 6 o'clock position. So I'm fixing to mark this bearing with the 6 o'clock position arrow, and then install this bearing. This particular bearing is going into position number 4. I've already put in bearing number 5 right in there. Put number 5 in already. We'll have to do number 4, and then I'll do 3, and then I'll switch to do 2 and 1. I have to take the engine off the stand because you can't put the main bearing, the cam bearing in the front because you have nothing to, this conical tool keeps the tool concentric with the bore. You have nothing to put your cone in, so you have to flip it around and come in from the other side to put numbers 2 and 1 in. So, but I'm fixing to do 4 and 3, and then I'll have to flip it around and do 2 and 1. So, okay, continue with this LS cam bearing install. Some developments here. So it turns out I can get them installed without having to take the engine off the stand. I just twisted the stand about 30 degrees, and it gave me access to the back of the cam bore. I don't know if it sits higher than a small block, but I never really tried this before, but saves a little bit of time by leaving it on the stand. The downside is that my tool cannot fit through the bearings that I already previously installed, so I'm going to have to disassemble the tool and put the pieces in one at a time, and then assemble it in the hole down there. It's not that big a deal. One thing, so you have these expandable, I don't know what these are called, collets or whatever, but so this is what actually goes in the bearing. It's got this rubber protection here, but you can see it's like 4 pieces, and as you tighten that nut right there, it squeezes and expands these pieces out like that. And so to make it easier to get the this device in there, I'll spray it with Shout cleaner, just as a lubricant, and it slides in a whole lot easier as opposed to being dry. So I'm on my last bearing now, and once I get it in, all the cam bearings will be done. So it's not that hard to do. Again, I put an arrow on it. The arrow indicates the 6 o'clock position to the front of the engine, and that's how I'm clocking these bearings to make sure the oil hole's right. I'm gonna go back, make sure all my oil holes are clear. So there's a like I said, there's a passage right down through here, and I'm gonna do is I'm gonna blow compressed air down through the here and put my finger in the cam bearing. If I feel the air, then I know it's got a good passage for oil. All right, about to wrap this up, and then I'll check and make sure they're installed properly. Okay, the cam bearings are now all installed, and it was a little bit more difficult to get 2 in one end, but I got them in. My tool did a little bit of damage to the that right there in 4 spots. It did a little bit, nicked the bearing a little bit. I'm going to take a knife and just kind of scrape that down flat. It won't hurt anything. I think it did it in 4 spots. So I'm going to try to get that little nick out, and then just with a kitchen knife or something, not with a serrated edge, but a flat edge. And then I'm going to test fit the cam, put the cam in, see if it fits dry. All right, as a follow-up to this LS1 engine I'm building, or LS1 replica, or whatever you call it, the number 4 cam bearing was tight. I could not get the cam to slide through it on a test fit. So and I tried and I really couldn't get it. I didn't want to force it, so I had to stop and reevaluate. And so one of the tricks you can do is you make your own reaming tool, and you can ream out a cam bearing to make it fit. So what you do, I have to have an old cam. This is a cam from 5.3 with active fuel management, which means this cam is worthless to me. So active fuel management cams are not, actually it's not an active fuel management cam because it wouldn't have that reluctor right there cut into it. That's for a rear mounted cam sensor. Active fuel management didn't have that. But this is an old LM7 cam. I really don't plan on using it. It's a stock truck cam. So what I did was you take a hacksaw and you cut a groove in the journal like that. You want to make it kind of slope like that, or diagonal, slanted. And as you put it in the troublesome cam bearing, the one that's tight, you rotate it like this, and that groove right there acts as a cutting edge, and it reams out the bearing for you. Wherever it's tight, that will take material away and make the bearing bigger. So I had to do that on cam bearing number 4 on this engine. And so you have to do it a little at a time, then back out. See, I've got a little bit of residue in that groove right there. You have to pick that out. Either back it out just enough to pick that out with a pick, and then keep going. Don't keep going, because you'll start, instead of removing material, you'll just start burnishing it and mashing it into the bearing, which will make it probably worse. So cut it maybe a turn, back it out, clean it out, cut it a turn, back it out, clean it out, and keep doing that until your bearing's free. And that's what I did with this engine. So the test cam now fits fine, or not the test cam, the real cam now fits fine. And so I fixed the tight bearing with this this homemade reaming tool here. So I'll save that for the next time. Next time I have a build an LS motor and need to ream out my cam bearings. So I just wanted to do a follow-up with what I had to do to the number 4 cam bearing, because it was too tight. Number 5 was fine, all the rest of them were fine, just number 4 was a little tight. All right, so I'm gonna continue. I've now got the crankshaft in, and about to start, I'm gonna flip it over, start sizing the rings, or checking my ring gaps, put them on the pistons, and put the pistons in place. This motor's coming together. Hey, look what I got Boots trained to do. Hey, buddy, wanna get it? Come on, I almost got it out of my hand. That ain't what I told him. Come here, boy. Come here. Get it, boy. Whoa. He jumps in the truck like I want him there. Wanna get it, boy? Come here. Come here, boy. Come here, Boots. Come here. Come here. Come here, buddy. Come here. Come here. Ow. Ready? 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 Go it. Get it, boy. Get it, boy. Look at it. Hey, good boy. Good boy. Good boy, Boots. Now you can jump in the truck and go where I want him to go. Just gotta make him go and jump back out.